Since this really has nothing to do with Islam, I don't think they'll pull this off. Well, they might. But I'll still try to direct my attention more to this camera here. Because if this is pulled off, at least I'll have this as a backup here. Yeah. Okay. What's taking place here is that I'm reading a liberal's response to a video I made on LiveLeak, where I have to me, the deal that Oblamer made with Iran is really stupid, and that got the zombies coming out to defend it. Of course, the only way they defend it really is just to use ad hominem. That's what I've noticed so far. I need to probably reread it just to make sure, but that's what I've discovered so far. And so you'll see a lot of ad hominem and stuff like this. But this guy, you'll see, this is kind of interesting here. So I think, well, it's more than just kind of interesting. You'll see how he tries to defend a deal that I feel is really horrible. Okay. By the way, when I read my words, I'll use this side of my face. When I use the liberals in that side, plus I'll do a Stewie Griffin accent, because this guy thinks he's really something here. Okay. He calls himself the Sheeple Whisperer. I have a feeling he's going to become the Sheeple Shouter pretty soon.
Why is it okay for the U.S. and Israel to have nukes and agitate for war?
How did it agitate for war? Did they put Americans in the embassy, into the American embassy, and hold them hostage and chant death to America, death to Israel?
Assassinate democratically elected leaders.
Which democratically elected leaders were did they assassinate?
Arm and fund terrorist groups.
Was that before or after Oblamer started arming Al-Qaeda in Libya and ISIS in Iraq?
Shoot down commercial airliners full of innocent people and buy air defense systems, but not Iran.
Was shooting down that airliner just to be mean, or was it a mistake? If there were no air defense system for Israel, do you think there would be any Muslims in Gaza left alive for shooting rockets into Tel Aviv? Would there even be a Mecca? Would there even be a Mecca still, being that Israel has the nukes to pretty much turn Mecca into another Grand Canyon? And if Israel is so evil, like Muslims believe, how come Israel hasn't done the Samson option on you and taken, I think he might be an Iranian, possibly, on you, and taken all of your oil? Why did it let the Muslims have Gaza even? You know, Gaza, the place where the Muslims shoot missiles out at Israel after Israel gives back it to Gaza, gives Gaza back to the Muslims. Yeah. Why did Israel give back the Sinai to Egypt? How does that mean Israel is so evil and should be destroyed so an ancient little boy who disappeared down a well can come back with Jesus and kill all the Jews and Christians? You know? Think, please.
Might you be able to provide something resembling a logical answer sometime this century, my woolly sheepling friend?
Might you do the same with what I just answered you with, please? By the way, how come I think you are going to become the Sheeple Shouter soon? He calls himself the Sheeple Whisperer, but I think he's going to become the Sheeple Shouter.
Such as?
Well,
we've already covered this.
Which was?
A coup against a democratically elected leader.
Which one?
A support for a dictator to control their country, shooting down a passenger airliner off their coast, etc.
Which you think was on purpose.
Oh, you say, if so, that is now a reason for letting 12ers have the bomb and nuke Israel and send an EMP over America. How so? That makes no sense.
What makes no sense?
Why would Iran nuke Israel or send an EMP over America unless they were defending themselves from attack?
Because they believe that the 12th Imam can only come back when the world is in chaos. And what better way to do that than start a nuclear war with the great Satan and little Satan? Or do you think the 12ers who want the bomb are joking about that sort of thing? You know, which is it?
Why would Iran knowingly start a war that they could only lose? Can you explain such nonsense?
Because Twelverism is a Shiite. Twelverism is a death cult on par with Jim Jones and the Heaven's Gators. Because Muslims strap on bombs, use their women and children, the women's and children's as shields, human shields, and believe the next world is the important one and not this world, not this life.
You say because America doesn't believe Jesus can only come back by setting all of its enemies on fire like Twelvers seem to believe. It sounds like some really good propaganda you've been smoking. Where does it come from?
Well, how come America hasn't nuked Russia so Russia will nuke them back and bring back Jesus? Oh, that's right, because it's not in Bible prophecy to do so. That's why.
You say, if Iran didn't hold American hostages for nearly 2 years, have Marine barracks blown up in Lebanon, chant death to Israel, death to America, call us the great Satan, kill over 500 U.S. troops in Iraq as American troops try to bring stability to Iraq, give Hezbollah hundreds of thousands of rockets to threaten Israel with, well, do you think Americans would really want a war with Iran?
Well,
what's your specific and credible evidence for claiming Iran blew up the Marine barracks in Lebanon?
well, show evidence that it wasn't caused by a Shiite Muslim backed by Iran. And maybe Americans won't think the deal Oblamer made with Iran was so stupid. Okay?
There's not a shred of hard evidence linking the Iranian government to that attack.
Well, if true, you need to let Americans know that, for it's one of the reasons why we think this deal with Iran is so incredibly stupid and insane.
You say, and all that butthurt over the Iranians chanting death to Israel and America and calling the U.S. the great Satan.
That's just being funny. They don't mean it. How do you know?
But it's no different than Israelis and Americans begging the governments to bomb Iran. Same exact shit.
Would they be doing that if Iran didn't hold Americans hostage for nearly 2 years, have Marine barracks blown up in Lebanon, chant death to Israel, death to America, call us great Satan, kill over 500 U.S. troops in Iraq as American troops try to bring stability to Iraq, give Hezbollah hundreds of thousands of rockets to threaten Israel with? Well, do you think Americans would possibly want a war with Iran if all that didn't happen? Would they?
Yeah. And where's your evidence that Iran killed 500 U.S. troops in Iraq?
Where's your evidence that Shiites backed by Iran using Iranian weapons didn't? Bring the evidence. And maybe Americans won't think the deal with Oblamer was so horrible and stupid. Okay? Now do that. Yeah, bring the evidence that it wasn't Iranians. Yeah, okay? Yeah.
And if the U.S. can give Israel arms to threaten its neighbors with, why can't Iran give Hezbollah arms to threaten Israel with?
Does Israel shoot rockets willy-nilly at the Muslims in Gaza and Hezbollah in, I call it Hezbollah, and Hezbollah in Lebanon? Well, do they just shoot rockets willy-nilly at them? No.
You say, really? So all that you mentioned makes it so okay to send an EMP off over the American continent and incinerating Israel so the Mahdi and Jesus can come back and kill all the Jews and Christians? Really? Well, that's really something. What evidence do you have that this would ever happen in a million years?
Again, with all that talk of the 12th Imam, chaos, wiping Israel off the map, the existential existence of Israel being non-negotiable in the nuke deal, etc. That's just talk, right? The mullahs really don't mean that, right? Well, how can you tell? Why are they so bent on getting nukes if it's just for peaceful purposes? Yeah.
And where did I say it would be okay to happen?
The fact that you are defending a deal that rewarded terrorist Iran with $150 billion, 24 days to hide evidence, and not getting any hostages freed in the deal, seems to me you have no problem with Iran getting nukes to possibly let all that happen.
It sounds to me like you have an overactive imagination.
Gee, now, why would that be the case? Any guess?
You say, I take it that $150 billion and giving Iran 24 days to hide stuff still agitates for war, true? Where are you getting this propaganda about giving Iran $150 billion?
Would you prefer letting them have?
Do you believe absolutely everything the Jewish press says?
I tell you what, I'll believe what the Jews say over those who believe in a God that allows them to do taqiyya, lie for Allah. And every Sunni Muslim I talk to says it's only Shi'ite Muslims who do taqiyya. So it may not be everything, but how about more likely to believe? Would you accept that more?
You say, gee, how come? Could it be, well, what could it be? Could it be, I don't know, Islam? You mean the fake Islamic terrorism bogeyman created by the Pentagon and the Jewish lobby? That one?
No, I mean the one created by Quran 9, 111, 38, and 39 that threatened Muslims with a painful doom if they stay at home and don't go forth killing and being killed in the cause of Allah, like Muslims who join ISIS are doing. I mean the first part of Quran 424 that allows Muslims to rape captured non-Muslim women and girls like ISIS is doing. According to Sunan, rape women and in Sunan Abu Dawud 22050 can rape them in front of their captured non-Muslim husbands, because it says in the presence of their husbands are unbelievers. So, not the Jewish lobby, the Quran quote lobby, that one.
You say Hezbollah. Where did Hezbollah get its weapons to threaten Israel, you ask? It sounds again that you say, sounds again like you really believe shouting death to Israel, America really just shouts and nothing else, true? Where did Israel get its weapons to threaten its neighbors?
America, thank God.
Yep, and just shouts, no different than Israelis and Americans shouting to bomb Tehran.
I'm not for bombing Iran. I am, however, for destroying and defying the Kaaba in Mecca. Let's see how much time do I have left here. Oh shoot, I better hurry up here. Yeah, in Mecca. Putting it through a second Abu Tayyar situation and letting Muslims know of the first Abu Tayyar situation at the same time. If that doesn't stop Iran from getting the bomb, then I say we play a game of whack-a-mole, wherever the mullahs might be hiding as we try to take out their nuke sites. We don't have to nuke Tehran, just hit where they might be hiding. But not until the Kaaba in Mecca is destroyed and defiled with pig crap. For it's Islam, pure and simple, that I feel is the main reason why the mullahs want the bomb. We go after the Kaaba in Mecca first. And if that doesn't change Muslim hearts and minds, then we play a very violent game of whack-a-mole. And I better stop it here.